All right. Date restriction fields. This is another important one. If say you're searching the intoxicated case and you do host within the same sentence of intoxicated, within the same sentence of injury, within the same sentence of drunk. You won't do it all in the same sentence because it's not likely that all those words will be in one sentence, but you say within 7 of each other. And a whole bunch of cases come up, right? Say 100 cases come up. These cases in Westlaw stem from 1900 until the present. Would it do you any good to read the cases from 1904, 1905? What do you think?
Not necessarily, unless you, for some reason, needed to cite a common law, I guess.
Okay, why would you want to cite a common law?
I guess that there hasn't been, I guess, a law created that would apply to maybe this specific case, and you would be looking for something to relate to or show that it could be relatable. I'm not sure.
So, right. So basically, when you're arguing, right, and some people might do this just in general, right? Say you're arguing with your significant other and you're trying to make a point. They're mad at you because you were late. You all were gonna go to a movie, right? Or you went to a movie and your significant other was late getting ready. And your significant other says, well, you remember when we met in 2004 and we were going to the movie and you were late? Is that a strong argument as if you were to say, well, last week we were going to dinner and you were late? Does that make sense? The closer in time something happens, the more significant and more powerful and more convincing it is. So if you pull a case for 1904 to support your argument, the attorney on the other side might find a case from 2019 to support his. And it's more likely than not the 2019 case is going to carry more weight because so much has changed since 2000 or 1904. If your significant other was late back when you first met in 2004, they might have matured. That was 16 years from now. And they'll say, you know what? I was late in 2004, but I haven't been late in the last 15 years. So dates are important. When you're searching for stronger case law, ideally you want to start with the most recent cases. So you would use this date restriction to do maybe within the last 5 or 10 years, because the arguments would be much stronger. Things change. 20 years ago, if you had a family law case and a spouse had committed adultery, you would find cases that said that spouse is not a good parent. There's case law that says any spouse who cheats, there's a presumption that they can't be a good parent. And if you find that case from 1970, you're like, woo! But since then, the courts think totally different. And now the cases say it means absolutely nothing what they do with their personal life. They can still be a great parent. The law hasn't been overturned. It's just the mindset of people have changed, right? So when you're using restrictions, when you're doing case searches, remember that if you use DA, you can only pull the certain cases that are coming within the certain date that you're looking for. If you're writing a law review article and you want to do research on the history of whatever, then you might say, let's go way back and look for cases from 1904 to 1920. The Supreme Court held once in 1910, yada, 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 yada. But now, and then you do another research for the last 5 years, from 2015 to 2020. So this is where this is useful. It's very useful when you have too many documents, because oftentimes Westlaw would put the oldest cases first. So instead of sitting there and thumbing through all these old cases, I don't want to use, I don't want to use, I don't want to use the DA, the date restriction field. All righty.